Hi, this is Vito. This is the final video for a Catalyst project to bring decentralized native Cardano swaps to Maya protocol. Across this project, we did the deep technical work. We brought a new kind of cryptography to Maya so it could speak Cardano's language. And we built the Cardano Bifrost, the software that lets Maya read from and write to the Cardano blockchain. For this final milestone, we did something important. We put all of that work through an independent security audit, and then we fixed what we found. In this video, I will explain the audit and the fixes in plain language. Here is the path this project took. First, the cryptography. Cardano signs transactions with a different method that most change Maya supports. So before anything else, we had to teach Maya's threshold signing system a new signature scheme called EDDSA. That was the first two milestones. Then we built the Bifrost itself in two halves. The observer, which watches the Cardano blockchain and reads incoming transactions, and the signer, which builds, signs, and sends ADA back to our users. And now the final step, an independent security audit. Why is this milestone its own deliverable? Because this software handles real money. The Bifrost controls how ADA moves in and out of Maya vaults. A subtle bug here isn't a cosmetic issue. It could mean stuck funds or worse. A security audit is when independent experts try as hard as they can to break the software, to find the edge cases, to overlook assumptions, and the ways a malicious user might abuse it. You want them to find problems now in a controlled review rather than later in the wild. So we commissioned a thorough audit of the Cardano Bifrost and we published the full report openly. Here is the audit report, public for anyone to read. The audit was rigorous. It reviewed the code across 9 different security dimensions and produced a large set of findings. Each one independently double-checked to make sure it was real and not a false alarm. The headline is reassuring. The audit found the cryptographic core to be sound. The parts that actually sign transactions, match them up, and convert amounts between Cardano and Maya were all verified correct. That's the most important thing to get right, and it was right. Where the audit did find issues, they were mostly at what it called the trust seams, the boundaries where Maya hands something to Cardano and the two systems interpreted it slightly different. The most serious one, the single critical finding, was a clever edge case. A specially crafted malformed Cardano address could be slipped in a refund address and cause the validators to crash. Exactly the kind of things you want an audit to catch. So, what did we do about it? The critical finding was fixed. The high severity one, a unit mismatch that could make a withdrawal look like it had insufficient funds, was mitigated with the deeper root fix in progress. And several of the medium findings were fixed with public merge requests. For example, we fixed a crash that could happen on startup if a piece of network data was momentarily missed. We fixed a bug where splitting a long memo could cut a character in half and produce invalid data. And we made transactions building fully predictable so every validator produces exactly the same transaction. For the remaining lower severity items, we triaged them by risk. Some are queued in the Cardano library, and a few of more design-sensitive ones are being handled carefully through a private security process first, which is a standard practice. You don't want to publicly publish a roadmap of weak spots before the fixes are shipped. Every fix we ship is a public review merge request that anyone can inspect. So that's the project. We brought a new signature scheme to Maya, built the Cardano Bifrost that connects the two networks, and then held it to an independent security audit. The cryptographic core was verified sound, the critical finding was fixed, and every remediation is out in the open for anyone to review. Thank you to the Catalyst community for funding this work. The audit report is public, the code is open source, and the Cardano is now first class audit change on my protocol. Thanks.